quorum has been established. All members are present. Is there anyone in the audience who anticipates speaking before the commission today? Okay. Could you just raise your right hand? And do you promise to tell the truth as you know it to the Athens City Planning Commission?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Disposition of minutes. Shall I wait for
What happened to Paula?
Paula?
She just snuck out, didn't she? Okay.
Are there any
She gave me her
She gave your, okay.
corrections
any
already.
corrections or additions?
Were they minor or major or
I
something?
think they were pretty minor.
Okay. Okay. I'll move that we accept the minutes.
A second.
Okay. Second right
It's
there.
been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous with one abstention.
Missing a member there.
First case, 15-02, Jackie O's, 5 Campbell Street, Title 41. Mr. Paskey, do you want to introduce everything?
It's like 25 Campbell, by the way. I didn't catch that.
25 Campbell, okay.
You may remember a couple, I think it was weeks ago, they came in and did a preliminary presentation to put an addition onto the existing, excuse me, losing my voice, Jackie O's building. The addition is going to be primarily or almost exclusively manufacturing, brewing area, and some second floor offices. It is not an increase to the existing tap room, the public area, so it's just to enlarge the manufacturing part of this structure. Instead of going through the whole synopsis here, since it's an existing structure, I can tell you that they did receive a variance that I think it's important to note back in case number 1121V back in November 15th of 2011. At that time, they had kind of planned on wanting to do this extension or expansion, so they got a variance to, at that time, to have the business was 70 foot from an R zone where 100 foot is required. They received their variance back then, but in forethought, they also, we did it from the property line, so they didn't have to go back at this time because we already knew, they knew at that time they were looking to do this expansion. So the variance that they received 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago would still carry today. As you can see through the comments, the zoning is B3. The back part actually is M, and in the area behind the old railroad spur. It meets all the bulk controls within the city for setback, etc. The comments from the fire department is that a fire department connection needs to be placed within 50 foot of the existing hydrant. I believe they may have indicated that on the most revised drawings that we just gave to you. The other items are just common with the centralized alarm system and a Knox box mounted within 10 feet of the front door. The police chief had talked about, or actually Captain Harvey did the report on this, and it talked about the lighting. He wasn't aware that there is exterior lighting on the proposed addition around the perimeter of the building. So that part has been addressed. Access by vehicle to the rear all the way around the building, that too can be accessed coming through the parking lot around by Sonic and driving around to the rear and getting around the majority of the building. And they also question whether there will be enough parking. 8 regular spots and 2 handicap is the required amount. 10 parking spaces are all that's required for this type of use. It's 1 per 3,000 square foot for wholesale and manufacturing, and then 1 per 200 for the public area. The public area only is about 1,000 square foot room, so he needs 5 for that, but the rest of the building only requires 5 parking spaces. They are required to have a loading zone. They actually have 3, so they're okay on that. The property does sit within the floodplain. You probably got my emails yesterday. We did some more research on that, and it appears to be that the existing structure is more than 1 foot above the base flood elevation, and but we are going to require that they get a new certificate, and that the new building will have to have a pre-construction certificate for flood elevation as well. So, but at this time, it appears that it'll be okay, and Paul can speak a little more to that if you have any questions on that. And then from Public Works Director Andy Stone, he had some questions, very minimal on the site in regards to ownership of the existing catch basins on site. Are they private or public, and are they existing? And I can let, I guess, Art, you speak into that here in a little bit, and if you would, okay. And then he also just wanted to ensure that a trap system was put in place to avoid sewer gas, and questions about the existing water service, but it sounds like it's a 4-inch line, which will be large enough to handle the fire suppression system. So there will not be any changes to the water system, or to the water service to the property. So really, it's pretty simple and straightforward, and I don't foresee any issues unless we have an issue with the flood, but it appears at this time it's okay.
Did you care to come up and address or answer any questions? And just please state your name and address.
Name's, where's the camera here anyways? Name's Art Ostrike, and live at 164 Morris in town, right by the cheese barn. And
Still gotta call it Cheese Barn.
well, it's funny what, right now I'm calling O'Hooley's again too, so I don't know. It sort of happened.
Okay.
It just gets better.
Should I address Andy's stuff, I guess?
You can, but if you want to go through each item, we can start off if you like. Start off with the fire department. I haven't looked. Did you?
Yeah,
Fire
so if
connections?
you look at page 2 of what I just gave you, I think it's easier to see that. And on the right side, towards where it says that existing grain silo, just below there it says FCD, which is their access to be able to amp up if there, God forbid, was another fire in my world, that they would be able to access that and boost up the fire suppression system. And then just below that, by the front door, there's a new Knox box
Okay.
that'll allow access to the fire department. Again, if something were to happen. What else is on the chief's there?
You got the Knox box. Obviously, you have a centralized alarm system be inside the mechanical room, right inside by the FCD hookup.
That's right. So just inside, you'll see a room that says existing water heater. Within there, that'll be in the state-approved plans, right within there somewhere.
Okay.
And then the police concerns were the lighting, and I don't think he realized that the plans do indicate lighting on the building for around the perimeter. So
Yeah, we
that-
want to keep that place well lit
Yeah.
anyways. There's product in there that we want to make sure stays there.
That should be okay. Parking spaces, like I said, met code requirement. That was one of his comments. And then the only other comments from Andy were the catch basins on the site. Are those existing?
Those are existing. There's the 2 catch basins, one over on it's not on page 2. Let's go to page 1 again. And you'll see on the sketch to the bottom right of that page, towards the AmVet side, and then towards the Sonic side, you'll see an existing catch basin in the parking lot, as well as kind of in the grassy area along the AmVet side on the left there.
Does the flood elevation certificate come before construction
The-
or once?
Yes, the way it'll work is this is the Title 41 review process, so it's the site plan review process, and then after this point, they'll go to the state of Ohio and obtain their state building approval drawings. Once they get that, they'll come back to us, and at that point, they'll fill out the permit for a use permit, which at that time will also require a flood hazard permit, and they'll have to give the certificate at that time. Although I advised them a little bit ago, before they spend the money to go to the state, that they get a pre-construction certificate done immediately, and Mr. Buckley's here. He's probably already been contacted about it. So.
The existing building was constructed back in '84 or '85. It is conforming with the floodplain regulations as they existed back in the '80s, so it's conforming. It is still a conforming building by flood standards. The FEMA guidance says that for any additions to conforming buildings, they need to be brought up to standard with the code. We double-checked an elevation certificate that ART provided us back in 2011 when they did their use or their move in there and they got their variance. based on the elevation certificate that was issued then, assuming that the addition is at the same elevation for its lowest floor as the existing building, it would be conforming. So we just need to confirm that is the case. Based on the site plans, it certainly appears as if it's conforming and that there's no issue with elevation. We just need to see the numbers to make sure. So that's all
Right,
we're asking.
from what I understand, I think that form that I gave you guys is good for 3 years, I believe, and it'll stick with grade there.
Well, the form you gave us, we'll need an updated one, though, because of the substantial improvement.
Right,
So,
the addition.
Okay.
We just
To the
need to make
addition.
sure that the addition is at the same elevation.
Okay, yeah, we wanted it the same elevation, or we couldn't
Right.
push pallets around anyway, so.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Do you share the same ingress egress with the grave marker company?
Well, that's that Cheese Barn Alley,
Okay.
and then I don't know what that road is called that's between Sonic
Grant
and
Street.
the gravestones. What is it? Grant. Yeah, so we do, I guess, share that with them. They've got parking just off of Grant on the Campbell side, and then we pull into our own drive then. Yeah,
So all the easements are in place on that?
yeah.
That they're city right-of-ways,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, ma'am? Oh,
Yeah, I was just going to ask Mr. Paskey, is the new part of this building is all on the B3 except for a corner, is that right?
The back corner, if you look at the very front page, that you see where the old railroad spur cut through the property, the bottom part of that is actually zoned down. So the lot will split zoning on one side versus the other of the old railroad spur.
But the new construction will be in the B3,
It's in both.
but it's mostly.
It's mostly
Most
in
of the square footage?
most of it's in B3, yes.
So is this, it looks like a pretty substantial enlargement of the footprint. Do you plan to continue expanding at that point, or is this?
Without Athens Mold and Machine allowing us to purchase a bit of their property, we will not be able to expand beyond this plan at that site.
Okay.
I would love to, but there's a water line, or you'll notice, let's see here, on the
Sanitary drain further down. That's running
we're
parallel.
limited on the, I don't know what direction that is, limited on the south side by that sanitary line.
Yeah.
It's behind there, so we can't do anything because of that line.
Yeah. Don't want to build a building on it. Well, that's been done before.
Yes.
It's not a wise.
It has been done before?
Which we don't really approve of. It makes it very difficult to service.
Right, yeah, so that kind of was, as we've been planning this out for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, and really for 2.5 years, it was like, well, that seems to be the limiting factor. And this, we basically we'll be limited by our brew house size at that point. This is about where we want to be.
The only question I have on that I noticed is, why does it say Phase 1 on your drawings?
Good question.
RBC wants more work.
Yeah, John, not John, but Mr. Moran. I don't know, it could be him fishing for more work there. Hi, David.
Are any other questions from the commission?
Well, I'd just like to know, I'd like to ask either Paul or John, this isn't a 6-inch water line, and up until now, maybe it's all changed, but I always thought we were searching for and advocating for 6-inch water lines.
4-inch service going into the building. I don't know what the tap is out in Campbell. That's an Andy question, but I know it's a 4-inch service coming into the building, and that's pretty good size for fire
Okay.
suppression. That's more than adequate.
Well, it's, I just really would like to have that information in future times if we have
6-inch though would be more
the lines in the
sanitary.
street.
That'd be, yeah. Andy reviewed it before he left, and he said he had very minor comments in regards to it. So,
But it's always been the case that
right.
I mean, that was then and this is now, perhaps. But.
The only thing I did not mention, and is that it will need to go to the Shade Tree Commission. I want to get it on the agenda for next Thursday evening. I'm estimating approximately 20 trees, but they will do more to determine that amount. And I see they did a site plan, or they did add some to the rear of the building. I guess I have to ask the question, is that now no longer blacktop behind, or is it going to be all grass?
Oh, it wasn't, we had talked of having a gravel spot, just, possibly working with Athens molding machine, but it's looking like right now with those 3 loading docks that we're not going to need to do that.
Okay.
I'd prefer to have some grass out there and some trees and whatnot.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission? Is there any questions or comments from the public who is here today in assembly? Okay. Does anyone want to put forth a motion?
I move that we accept the plans as submitted for, 1502, 25 Campbell Street, Title 49. That we approve it.
And pending approval of the Shade Tree Commission?
Shade Tree Commission, and of course they'll have to follow the plans and submit it to the state.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay.
I apologize for my absence there, but there was a floodplain issue. Is that already addressed in here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
They'll have to get a new certification anyway after the footprint increases. But as it stands now, that when they have the elevations proper.
They'll need to file a flood permit, but it appears as if everything is elevated to the proper height.
Thank you.
And we need a new elevation certificate to confirm that.
All
So
in
it's
favor of
not-
the motion? Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought I heard a clomar from you.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, you-
no, no, no.
okay.
No,
I
not a
was
clone.
wondering.
Essentially just a new, certificate just of increased footprint.
Okay.
So, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
I have to abstain. I feel that because I wasn't able to hear the entire presentation, even though I'd heard the preliminaries.
So there's 4 votes in favor, correct, Nancy? You voted for?
Yeah.
Okay, and 1 abstention. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Ostrike, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Next is communications, Ryan Buckley, Hocking Street PUD. Mr. Paskey?
I'll give you a little brief history on this one. It is an open communication. This is the property that many of you may remember that Dr. Tong used to own on Hocking, and the old church that was tore down a few years ago. Mr. DeLuca bought the property a few years back, and on the little one-page drawing you have where you see 21 Hocking, the house in the center, that was an existing structure that was a rental. 23 Hocking is a new duplex that was built a couple years ago. And then 19, the dotted house to the rear, is where Dr. Tong used to live, and it was his house. And the church pretty much sat where the proposed new duplex will be. I requested that they came in wanting to build an addition on a new structure on the front of this. And I told them that I felt this should go through a PUD process. And the reason being, we have 2 parcels, or 2 structures on one parcel, on the front part where the church was. And as it stands right now, there are numerous easements that we required back then for parking easements, access easements, and this clears all that up. It'd be required to get a variance anyways because of there's a lot of issues that's going to require variances, but the PUD is the way to take care of this and make it all one site. So combining the 3 lots, make it one site that'll have 4 buildings sitting on it, is what the proposal at hand is. So after that said, I'll let Ryan speak if he has any more to add.
Ryan Buckley, Buckley Group, 489 Richland Avenue. I assume you guys have prints there.
I'm sorry. He just identified. Yeah, he swore, so.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry.
Yep. What we're looking at is Hocking Street, new duplex building in the front, southwest corner there. Basically, there's 3 existing structures. Existing parking we're going to utilize for the new structure. We have one access point to Hawking Street, which is existing. Proposing 6-inch sanitary tap straight to the manhole from the building, and 4-inch water tap, 5% lot coverage, eventual shade tree. We have some calculations on there for that. The project site is in the floodplain. The proposed building will be 1 foot above per code. We have labeled the current setbacks for the lot on the drawing. This project will require a couple variances for setbacks. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory on the drawings. If you have any questions.
Did you say the existing lot coverage is 65%?
No, that'll be when we're done.
That'll be the end?
Yeah, that'll be when we're done.
And that does not include the impervious surface, right?
That's a good
So the Dr. Tom's old house is going to stay there,
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. All the existing buildings are going to stay.
and this is a combination of
Yeah.
3 lots, right?
Yeah, we're going to take 3 lots into one big lot
Okay.
with 4 buildings.
So, to clarify, are there 3 bedrooms now at Dr. Tong's old house, or is that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 3, 4, and
4.
I think the other one's 8, isn't it?
23 says
is
4.
8.
Rooms, but 4 bedrooms listed on the auditor's report.
No, it's an 8
With
bed.
8 bedrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
The 23 is
23.
8 bed. 21 is a 4, 19 is a 3, and then they're proposing to
Proposing
add
4.
4 more. It's a duplex, I
So this
believe.
map isn't right.
I don't, and you said something about there's one access?
Yes, there's one current driveway between the proposed building and 21 Hawking. It's currently a concrete driveway.
So there's no proposal for an additional
No.
access?
No, there'll be no curb cuts.
8, 12,
There is an existing driveway
16.
at 23, but it's just like a one-car pull-off. It's not really an access to the property.
And he says one
Because
pull
of
off like
stairs.
in the right of way?
It
or-
used to have a
It used-
driveway going
used
to
to
the
have a
whole
driveway,
garage.
but now there's-
It's probably in the right.
The curb cut is still there at 23.
How does he know?
And it looks like there's some stairs there that would prevent anybody from actually extending
Yeah,
it to the
you
back.
can't.
Is that what I'm saying?
The asphalt's still there, but you can't get through there.
Okay.
So it's this here.
There'll be a car parked there all the time.
Where is the right of way on, is it shown on the map here, Ryan?
Yeah, that front dark line on the property from,
That's
The
actually
property
lot
line's
line.
that's
actual
actually the
right-of-way.
right-of-way line,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's right up on the property line?
The houses
6 feet.
out there are pretty close to the property, right-of-way line, property line, yes. They're only set back probably 10 feet or so.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, our
That's
current-
like
10 feet.
Palmer, Elliott, Hocking, they're all like that.
Yeah, 21 Hawking is 6.64 feet off, which is what we're using for our new building. And then 17 Hawking, actually, to the south is about 3 feet off right away.
Yeah.
So where?
17, the one all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
He doesn't own that, or do you own it? No.
No.
That's somebody else's.
That's a different lot.
So really, it looks like the buildings go in a certain line, but the Hawking's a little bit over.
That's what he says.
This.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, this is a PUD, this is not a Title 41, so it
Okay.
will be going through public hearing, it'll be going through city council. There will be variances that will be requested through city council for lot coverage, setbacks. But this is the cleanest way to take this project versus trying to go through the Board of Zoning Appeals and with all the cross-site easements and access easements that we have, this is the way to clean this up versus what we have, trying to prevent something that was happening a long time ago on another one that I won't mention. But
So this will all be, 3 lots will be combined as a deed.
yes,
You'll have 4 structures on it.
yep,
Total impervious surface is 64.9%.
or 60 is the maximum
Or
allowed.
60, so that's one variance.
That's one.
Okay, parking looks adequate, right?
Parking will be adequate. I haven't done a review of it myself. I can tell you it's going to need Side yard setback variance as well, the 5.67
Oh, yeah,
feet.
5.6, yeah.
Okay, so he's got paid.
So it's going to need, and actually it'll need a rear yard because of Dr. Tong's existing structure
Yeah.
The parking.
is not anywhere far enough.
Not
So you're going to have a rear yard, a side yard, less than 1 acre, and
I thought it was
the,
2 acres, so it was a PUD.
Is this
One.
1 acre, okay.
on PUD. I thought that was 12.
I think it's 2.
2, I think, yeah.
How many?
Either way.
Yeah,
Still
either way
less
it's going to
than-
be
yeah.
required, okay, yeah.
Let's ask them
Are
again.
there any designated accessible
19.
parking spaces at this location now?
1, 2,
Currently, there's not.
What I don't think there would be required to be because it's individual. Not one of the single structures triggers an amount high enough that it would be required to have an accessible parking space.
Oh, wait.
But looking at its totality,
As a totality, the buildings themselves, each individual building does not require it. So,
13,
and it's private residence, not public. So,
15.
Ryan, do you have elevation, do you know the elevation, base flood, or the lowest floor elevations for the existing 3 structures?
For the existing 3,
Are those conforming? I doubt it.
this one is.
Well,
They
maybe
just
they
built
are.
it.
Who knows?
I know 23's out. We actually did 19 and
See, I
21, but I'm not
Those.
sure.
Yeah, they're
We just did
probably-
them, but I don't
But I
remember what
didn't
they were.
count that.
Okay.
21 maybe, and there's no way 19 is.
Right.
No, I don't think so.
no, it probably predates it. One in the back, all the way in the back.
The 4-inch water line is sufficient also?
Again, these are just residential services, so
Oh, what are you talking about, parking or?
they would only need a 3/4 inch or 1 inch tap. Fire suppression would not be required on a duplex.
Which one's the duplex?
7, 8, 9,
This would be two bedroom.
To the south of it is Galliano's development,
Over on Mill, around the corner, yes.
but it's exactly contiguous to this? Or is there another spot in between? Yeah, I know he doesn't own 17, but does 17?
No, 17 is not Gagliano's property.
No, I know it, but there's another one on the
Says
corner,
19
and then
total.
Galliano's and.
No, it goes all the way
16
down to
existing,
single digit
but-
number before you get to Mill. So
Are you including
there's
this one?
there's a couple.
This is probably halfway up Hawking.
Halfway
Yeah,
up
the
Hawking
also
Street.
really a parking space, yeah.
Half, 2/3.
Because it's not very long.
I guess I'm having trouble in what is existing and what is proposed.
Anything in the dashed lines is existing.
Yeah.
Everything in
The,
dashed
the
lines.
actual only proposed is the building, the new building.
So all those parking spaces are in place now?
All those parking spaces exist now.
With the exception of the ones between the 2 buildings. I think there's only 1 space there. Now he's showing 3 between the new building and the back building.
So, okay, so
Might have
for,
been 3.
Goodness gracious.
There's 3.
Is there 3 there?
Mhm.
Okay.
so a quick question is that we'll have 4 buildings and 3 addresses because it's going to turn into PUD. What happens in terms of addressing?
Don't know.
Okay.
Because I actually had to change, 17 used to be 19. And when 23 was built, I readdressed all of it then. There are no more available numbers, so we're going to have to go with 19 Unit 101 or something, and 19
A and B or something?
Or A and B, yeah. We're not going to have a choice. There are no numbers available.
Okay, and you say the parking between the A and B does not exist except 1 space?
No, I'm incorrect. There, it is there.
3 parking spaces between?
3 parking spaces are there. So all that's being added is
The building.
the building.
Okay, and all the parking spaces are paved at this point?
Correct.
And there's going to have to be more paving too, are the spaces in between are paved?
Yes.
They are, okay. So I'm hearing setbacks and side setbacks, front setbacks,
Lot coverage?
lot coverage, total area variance.
You say there are existing easements now? that-
Yes, when 23 was built a couple years ago, there's a access easement coming in off the driveway between 19 and 21. You can see where the driveway is to get to the parking lot behind 23.
Oh,
And then all of the parking spaces for 23, may note that some of them, we did a crossover on the parking too, because at the time, as you can see, like that 1 parking space is 2/3 on 23's property and 1/3 on 21's property. So just to clarify everything, there's parking easements, there's access easements, crossover easements, and this would eliminate all of those.
I assume there's also utility easements out there for us.
Actually,
If
the
I'm looking at
utilities
center
are all directly off the street into each individual structure, so
Okay.
didn't need that.
page. Okay.
The sanitary's marked.
Well, that sanitary would go to the back, and that's actually
Yeah.
part of their responsibility.
Right, and,
That'd
but
be
I
a
was
private
just, but we're
cemetery.
going across the, over the parking lots.
Height, what's the projected height?
2-story.
I think it'll look good.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just actually a preliminary conversation. Is that what I'm getting?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the fire burnt the siding on the houses, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we love our infill.
This
I
is
guess.
all owned by one property owner?
Correct, yes.
The luck.
I saw the name here.
It's a, still a.
University Rentals.
Are there any other questions or concerns from the commission?
We're not taking a vote on
No.
I mean, they'll have to go through the process, and it's up to the planning commission to decide if they want to have a public hearing on it as well. So it is required at city council level.
I would kind of lean towards having a public hearing, considering the number of variances. But that's just me. I mean, essentially,
Okay.
we've got.
I agree.
you know,
I'll go along.
And I know this is the point of a PUD is to be really flexible in terms of the variances, but probably because the number of them, we want to kind of parse it out. At least, whatever you guys think.
I agree with that.
I agree,
Okay.
yeah. I just like using the word PUD, this process for this kind of thing.
Because,
It's very small,
yes.
and it's only residential, and it doesn't have any open space.
Okay.
It doesn't even have grass for them to throw a frisbee.
They can throw it over the cars.
That's true, okay. But
And
that's
they do.
just, and they do, yes.
Okay.
So the next step would be,
They'll have to do an application. I mean, I haven't even sat down and figured out what all the variances are yet. This was just for an open communication, very, very preliminary. Wanted to get it introduced. The owner did. I wanted to throw it out here, the fact that it's a PUD versus, going through the other route and to clean some things up that we allowed happen 4 years ago on it with 23 being built. I mean, it wasn't nothing we did wrong, but this just cleans it all up.
They need to get.
Well, who would have
details.
guessed it would
They'll
go
need
this way?
detailed site plans.
Oh, there's
including
much more to come.
Yeah.
building elevations and all of that.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
Okay.
did you say 23 came through as the Title 41?
Did not have to. It's a duplex.
A little bigger than required.
Duplexes do not have to come through Title 41 process.
And the zoning is R3 down here?
Sorry?
What's the zoning code?
R3.
R3.
R3, that's it, okay.
R2, I hear.
Just check the map over there.
I didn't.
What was the answer?
I
Two
can't
or
see.
R3?
R3.
I thought.
I don't know.
What we're looking at over there?
Last
Red.
time we got.
Mm.
Okay.
Is there anything else from the
Nope.
commission at this time? Thank you very much, Mr. Buckley.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to reports from the city planner, Mr. Loeb.
I've got a few things for you. One, I may have communicated at the last meeting, but I do not recall. With respect to the updated FEMA flood maps, there still is no update as to when those will be through the FEMA process. I checked with one of our representatives at Ohio Department of Natural Resources in Columbus about a week and a half ago and said that they don't have an update at this point. As you probably recall, there's an issue, the city of Nelsonville is appealing the engineering modeling for their stretch of the Hocking River, but the project was done as one mapping project, and so that puts the entire project on hold until there's resolution there. The ODNR representative did not have any update as to when resolution may occur. So we're actually coming up on 2 years. I double-checked my numbers. The preliminary maps were issued in March of 2013. So this has been hanging out for a long time. When they first issued them in March, assuming that there was no appeals, they would have been adopted at the state and local level roughly November of 2013. So
Is there any impact to our activity? I don't think so. But
there should not be. All building permits at this point and flood permits, assuming that development starts prior to these maps becoming adopted, the guidance from ODNR has been that everybody should be working with the 2009 maps. Typically what we do is I double check to see what the new mapping says, and I'll give advice to property owners that if it shows a higher base flood elevation, they might want to consider that in their development because it could impact their insurance rates down the road. But from a permitting standpoint, we default to the 2009 maps.
And if I remember, there were some Clomars that would become Lomars with the new maps. Is that the case?
That is correct.
Okay,
right.
And that would be the other place where it would be a gray area.
Right.
Okay.
There's gray area on Columbus Road right now. The other area where I believe there's that small parcel or small development to the south of the community center, adjacent to the bank, the river bank.
Yeah.
It's actually on the south side of the bike path there. That development is a non-conforming floodway development right now. The new maps show that being removed from the floodway. Still in the floodplain. I think those buildings were built back in the 60s or something like
Yeah,
that.
before they even thought about it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Other issues or other things we're working on, I have working with our bike group committee to get an application submitted with the League of American Bicyclists for Athens to be designated as a bicycle-friendly community. We're wrapping up that application. I need to submit it via the internet by Wednesday of next week. Our Sustainability Commission had their February regular meeting on Tuesday. We're still working through all the information generated from our October public meeting for the sustainability plan. We think we've got a path to move forward to try to get some sort of a draft completed within the next 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot to go through there. And our Historic Preservation Commission has a meeting this Monday. We're trying to work with the Union Street property owners to see what kind of information or what kind of tax credits they may be available to the property owners and business owners. There's a lot of moving parts that we're still trying to figure out here, but we've been putting a lot of work into it. John and I and Mary Ann Reeves, the chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, the three of us had a meeting up in Columbus on this Monday that just passed with the Ohio Historic Preservation Office as well as the Development Services Administration to understand more about the tax credit process and what type of what potential credits are available based on the current condition, since some of those buildings were so significantly damaged. So, still some gray areas we're trying to get through.
Okay.
That's all I had specifically.
Okay, I noticed that they're appropriating money for the Essence of Athens. I think it's on its second reading.
That is correct, right,
Okay.
right. And the Arts Commission, Municipal Arts Commission is working through with City Council to get that moving forward, and with the administration.
Okay.
Mr. Paskey?
All I have to announce is that next Tuesday night we have Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Only one case on the agenda at 71 Grosvenor Street. Request for one parking space where two are required for a single rental unit with two tenants. And then Thursday night will be the Shade Tree Commission. I believe, I haven't talked to them, I assume they have it on schedule. And we'll get the drawings in for the Jackie O's here on that agenda. That's all I
Anyone
have.
else for Mr. Paskey?